Morning, boys and girls, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas. It's really good to be with you again. I hope you're all doing very well. It's a beautiful day today. I'm hoping that you get a chance to enjoy it. Maybe in the afternoon. It's supposed to be fairly warm this afternoon. Anyway, remember who we've been studying. What was his name? His name is, that's right, David. Well, David, after he killed that giant, whose name was Goliath, David became very popular. They didn't have social media then, but he became very popular among the people. And there was a saying that was going around, and it said, Saul has killed his thousands, but David has killed his 10,000s. Now, that was an exaggeration, but Saul heard it. And who was Saul? Saul at that time was the king of Israel. And he didn't like hearing that. He became jealous of David. He became so jealous of David that he began to wish David dead. Isn't that a terrible thing? Well, Jonathan, who was Saul's son, came to David and said, hey, my father is becoming very, very unhappy with you. Better watch yourself. And David said, it's okay. The Lord is going to take care of me. Well, as time went on, things got even more troublesome. And one night, Michal, who was Saul's daughter, told David, you better get out of here. So they made it look like David was in his bed sleeping, only it was just pillows and blankets and such made to look like there was somebody in the bed. And Michal helped David escape down a rope from the window outside. And David got away. When Saul and his men burst into David's room, they thought they'd found him there in bed. And they pulled back the covers, and it was just blankets. And so David got away. But David didn't feel safe because Saul's men, they hunted him even out into the wilderness, the desert, where very, very few people lived. And David had to escape into these caves. But David knew that God was protecting him. And so even though Saul and his men came looking for David, they were not able to catch him. And I think this is where David might have remembered the psalm that he wrote, Psalm 23. Can you say it with me now? The Lord is my shepherd. I have everything that I need. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. Remember, sheep, they don't lie down when they're hungry, so it means that they're being fed, and they don't like rough waters, they like still waters to take a drink. He went on, he says, he restores my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. David knew that God would lead him, and that if he did the right thing, God would lead him. But now, with Saul coming after him, he said, even though I walk the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. David had to flee. He had to escape from where he lived, from his home, and go out into the wilderness, the desert. But he knew that God would protect him. He says, I don't fear evil. What Saul was trying to do to kill him was a very evil thing. But David knew God would protect him. So we hear these words that David spoke many, many years ago. But even today, we know God can protect us. And I hope you will remember that you don't need to be afraid, that you will pray and ask God to protect you. And he hears our prayers, doesn't he? He certainly does. So remember that this week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.